We will start off with another program with return by address. We will return by address, which we are doing in the last program also. What is the program that we will be doing? The program logic is something like that I will be having a function called arithmetic. You understand? Oh, sorry, should write in small letters. Arithmetic. This is a function that I will be having. Now this arithmetic function definitely will be receiving two integers. That is the prototype. And this arithmetic function should also return an integer by doing some arithmetic. But what arithmetic? This function will calculate sum, that is add this to, will subtract, will multiply, will divide. All the four things will be done within this arithmetic function, and all the four results need to be returned. How is it possible? What I mean to say over here is, from main, if I call this arithmetic function, then this arithmetic function, output from the arithmetic function I can expect, and if I send say a comma b, I can expect that the arithmetic function has performed a plus b, a minus b, a multiplied by b and a divided by b, and all the results have been returned. Point is, how? A function can return only one value. So what can be done is, we can define a pointer over here within arithmetic. I can define a pointer a, we can define a pointer a, and from that a I allocate say memory locations for 5 integers. That is, I allocate 10 memory locations. So 10 memory locations, I am just not writing everything, not drawing each and every one, because that will take a lot of time, but 10 memory locations I will be allocating, or 5 integer space. Why 5 integer space? Because these two integers that I receive, I will add them. The sum I will store here in the first 2 memory locations, that is in the first integer. Then the difference I will store in the next 2. Product I will store in the next 2. Then the quotient I will store in the next 2. And the remainder I will store in the next 2. So what I mean to say over here is, I will do something like this, that I will add, let me just, okay. So firstly I will add them. So say if I receive the two integers as say a and b, my job is to firstly add a and b, a plus b. My job is to subtract, that is a minus b. Where to store, I am coming back to it. My job is to multiply a and b, a into b. My job is to divide a by b. And finally my job is to divide a by b and find the remainder. Where will I store them? I cannot return all these together, can I? Can I return all these things, all these things together? No, I can return only one thing. So why not I store this in memory location starting from a, or not a, some pointer p. So I can do something like this, that I declare some pointer in star ptr. I declare a pointer, and from that, in that ptr, I allocate memory locations, malloc. How many integers do I need? I need 5 integers, because I need to add, I need to subtract, I need to multiply, I need to divide, and I need to find the remainder also. So there will be 5 results. So I need space for 5 integers. I store them in those 5 integers, 5 into size of int. This means 5 integer spaces are created. Because ptr is int star, so you can now typecast it to int star also. See this, int star malloc 5 into size of int. I allocate space for 5 integers and receive that in ptr. What does that mean? That means that this is ptr. Please understand why. 5 memory locations or 5 integer spaces, 10 memory locations created, malloc. The starting address returned, I receive it in PTR. Definitely I need to typecast it to int star. So I receive it in PTR and I say that the 5 memory location, 5 integer spaces have been created. Now where to store them? See, if this is PTR, if this address is PTR, then I do need to store the sum over here, the difference in the next two. So definitely I can write something like this, that star PTR is equal to a plus b, is not it so? Similarly, in the next memory location, or the next after the next available memory location I should say, star PTR plus 1, next is star PTR plus 2 where I store, is not it so? I can store it in star, next memory location I can store it in star PTR plus 3. This is almost the same as the division program that we did, where we stored the remainder and the quotient. It's almost the same. So star PTR plus 4. See what I did. I have allocated 5 memory location spaces starting from the address PTR. So 5 memory locations are there. So in the first 2 memory locations, in the first integer I store a plus b. In the next integer space I store a minus b. In the next integer space I store a into b. In the next integer space I store a by b. And in the next integer space I store a divided by b, the remainder. Now this whole thing is present with me. What can I do now? I can return definitely the PTR. If I return this PTR, please understand, if I return this PTR, automatically what am I returning? I am returning an address. An address of what? An address that contains an integer. So what will be the return type? It is int star. The return type is int star. Is not it so? So you are returning a PTR over here. So I know that if I call this arithmetic function, I can receive it in a pointer or in an address. So definitely I can define or declare a pointer variable and call it say p, and I can call this arithmetic with p, arithmetic AB, and receive it in p. I know that those 4 memory locations or those 5 memory locations, the starting address will be returned by arithmetic and I will receive there. Now I can ask from the user for the 2 integers to be either added or subtracted or multiplied or divide. So I can start by saying enter, sorry, printf, I missed out, printf. I can start by saying printf enter 2 numbers, is not it so? I can start by saying enter 2 numbers, and then I scan those 2 numbers, scanf %d 2 numbers I need to scan. Where will I scan? Maybe into integers a and b. I need to declare those 2 integers a and b, no doubt a and b. Now those 2 are integers. Now I call this arithmetic function and know that this arithmetic function will do all addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and finding the remainder for me and return the address from where it starts. So I receive it in p. So I know now I can access p, p plus 1, p plus 2 and so on and get the results. So what will I do over here? Now I will ask the user printf, what do you want to do? You want to add or subtract or what? But everything is ready with me. I ask the user enter the option. What is to be done? What is the function to be done? Or enter the operation to be done. Enter the operation to be done. That is, you want to do plus or minus, or you want to multiply or you want to divide. I just want the option from the user. So user will enter an option, I will have to scan it. Now what I scan is plus or minus or into or division sign. So definitely that has to be a character, %c ampersand, I can name it option. So I need to have a character variable called option. I scan it in option, in a character called option. Now I need to check the option. Is it plus or minus or what? If option is equal to plus, then what is my job? My job is to print the sum. Everything is ready with me. See, if I get hold of this P, everything is ready with me. From P, the sum is present, because P has received this return PTR from arithmetic function. So if you get hold of P, you will get hold of A plus B. If you get hold of P plus 1, you get hold of A minus B, and so on. So I need the content of according P or P plus 1 or P plus 2 or whatever. Here I need the content of P only. So I can say printf, please see, the sum is, the sum is %d, and that is replaced by what? Replaced by content of P, because the sum is present in the first memory location starting from P. So that is content of P. Else if you need to check whether the option is minus. If the option is minus, then what I need to do is I need to say the difference is the difference is what? %d, is not it so? And then I write content of P plus 1. Please see this, the content of P plus 1. P plus 1 is the next memory location. The content of that contains the difference. P is this memory, first memory location. P plus 1 is the next memory location. Content of that holds the difference. Next, what is to be done? Else if option is equal to multiplication. If user wants multiplication, I know multiplication is present in the next memory location. Printf, the product is %d. This time the %d has to be present, the content has to be present in the next to next memory location, P plus 2. And finally, else if option is division, then what is to be done? What is to be done? You just need to write printf, the quotient and the remainder, please understand, and the remainder. The quotient and the remainder are what? %d and %d. Where are they present? They are present in content of P plus 3 and P plus 4. They are present in the content of P plus 3 and P plus 4. I think you understand this. So what have you done? You have got everything ready with you in the variable called P. If the user wants, I do this. The existence of this arithmetic function, if you write once, you may think, what's the necessity of doing all this? Writing this was so easy, I could have just added, differed, subtracted, whatever. Yes, you could have done it for a small program, but think of bigger programs where you need to call the same function time and again. So that is why functions help you out. Anyway, I have just done this sum, difference and everywhere, and how I have done it? See, I have sent A and B. The two values have gone. Now the two values have been operated upon, but how to return all the values? Returning so many values are not possible. I have allocated certain memory locations, and starting from that memory location, I have kept all these values, and I have returned that memory location address, this PTR. Starting from this, I allocated memory locations. I kept all my results starting from this memory locations. Then I returned the address of this starting memory location, PTR. And that address I received in main. So I've got an address from where all the results are present. I have printed all the result depending on my necessity. So this program should work fine. Only you need to comment out this part and then run this and see this is working fine. Just comment out these things which you don't need and then you can run this fine. So this program should run absolutely fine. Anything else is there on the right side? No, we just check it once. Okay, so let me run this program now and see that this is running fine. Okay, so I think you understand this. Let me run it. I hope I did not miss out on commenting out anything. Is there anything? No, I did not miss out on commenting and I declared all variables. So let me run. Okay, so no errors. Enter two numbers, maybe 5 and 7. Will it work? Enter the operation to be done, plus or minus or into or division. Let me enter plus. It goes out. Why? Did not work. Why? Don't you forget that after this scanning, some enter was there in the buffer. So after printing, it could easily scan this option. It got that enter which was there in the buffer. After you enter this A and B, there was enter in the buffer. You pressed an enter at the end. Enter was there in the buffer. When you told to scan the option, it scanned enter. It did not find any option for what to do with enter. So it did not print anything. It came over here, get ch. It was waiting for a key press. You press the key, it came out. What to do? After scanf, this enter has to be flushed out from the buffer. Your old problems. Is not it so? In fact, even after this scanf, you should give a flush. Is not it so? You should give. It is a habit to give a flush. Good habit to give a flush after every scanning. I told you, though it is not needed over here, though you have not scanned anything after this, so if anything remains in the buffer, should not be a problem, but it is a good habit to do. Anyway, let me run it now. Enter two numbers, 5 and 7. Now plus or minus, I enter plus. The sum is 12. Again you run it, 5 and 7. This time I enter minus. Minus 2, 5 minus 7. Again I run it, 5 and 7. This time I enter into, 35. Again I run it, 5 and 7. This time I enter division. Quotient is 0, remainder is 5. 5 divided by 7. Yes, quotient is 0, remainder is 5. So I think you understand how this is working. I have done just I have allocated memory locations and I have kept the variables one after the other and I returned the starting address and I accessed all the memory locations. Now I told you last time also that from P, starting from P, this variables are present, values are present, the sum is present, difference is present, starting from the P address. So instead of printing star P, you could have printed P0 also. Please understand this. From P has basically received the PTR. Now from this PTR, the sum was present. So what is this? This is PTR 0. So PTR has been received in P. So this is P0. Similarly, the next memory location which you are accessing by star of P plus 1 can be accessed by P1. Star of P plus 2 can be accessed by P2. Is not it so? Similarly, star of P plus 3 can be accessed by P3. Star of P plus 4 can easily be accessed by P4. Is not it so? So, if you run this program now, still it will work. You can check once more. See 5 and 7. You enter plus 12. You enter this 5 and 7. Maybe into. Yes, 35. So, these things will work fine. Now, I ask you one simple thing. One last thing to end. So, this program you have understood. There is no variation of this program. You can easily do it. But I ask you one last thing. say this here you have allocated a pointer, and then after you have declared a pointer, not allocated, declared a pointer, you allocated 5 memory locations, and there you kept the sum, difference, multiplication and all those. Achha, what if I don't allocate memory like this? I know that if I just write PTR 5, the same thing happens. See, if I write int PTR 5, then 5 into 2, 10 memory locations are allocated starting from PTR. The rest of the thing is as good as this star PTR equal to A plus B star PTR plus 1. And here you are writing star PTR. I just show you one thing before doing this. Say it was int star PTR. I just go back and show you one small thing. It's not PTR 5. Say int star PTR was there. Everything is as good as this. This star PTR, cannot I also access it by PTR 0? Please check this. This star PTR, cannot I also access it by PTR 1? It's all the same, because star of PTR plus 2 I am accessing the memory locations. So according memory locations can also be accessed by the array concept. Similarly, star of PTR plus 3, you can always write PTR 3. Similarly, star of PTR plus 4, you can always access PTR 4. And then you return PTR. It's all the same, PTR 0, PTR 1, all the same. You are accessing, you are having the memory locations. You have allocated the memory locations. You have just written PTR 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this way you accessed. And you return, you are also accessing it by an array concept. If you run it, it will run fine. You can check it. 5 and 7. You enter multiplication. See, it will enter 35. It works absolutely fine. But one last thing to show you, that say if after all I am dealing with arrays only, then why not I just write PTR 5. What is the necessity of doing int star PTR and then malloc? I can just write int PTR 5 and then PTR 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and everything runs absolutely fine. Then int star P, you receive this P. After all, it's all the same. The starting address of you are returning array starting address. It is absolutely same as doing in using malloc. There is no difference. So why not I do like this? Should it work? Please check once. Will it work? 5 and 7. I enter plus, should be 12. See what it shows? 8141. What from? Where from? It did not add. Only one change. I have told you so many times that int A5 is same as A equal to int star malloc 5 into size of int. Then where did it go wrong? Then int PTR 5 is not it same as PTR equal to int star malloc 5 into size of int. Where have I gone wrong? We have not gone wrong anywhere. In fact, int PTR 5, yes, it is same as PTR equal to int star malloc 5 into size of int using PTR as star PTR, but there is some problem with functions. In functions, it is said functions have got a scope and a lifetime associated with it, which I will also explain it in a bigger way later, scope and lifetime. It says that, as you are saying, that one variable you are declaring over here cannot be used over there because scope of a variable is within the function. Is not it so? Now what I want to say to you is, similarly there is a lifetime. It says if you declared an array, that array once you leave the function is automatically freed. See, if you write a malloc, it is always expected that you free it. Over here, you did not free, which is a bad habit. You did not free. Is not it so? Which you should be freeing somewhere or the other. Maybe at the end, over here you know you have received it in P, you could have freed P. But you did not. Here you are allocating a memory. When you are returning that PTR you have returned, that array remains as it is. You have received it. Do you get this? So this P that you get remains intact if you are doing using malloc, you did not free. But int PTR 5 when you return, that free is automatic. In an array, do you ever free? Do you ever write free explicitly? In PTR5 expect it will be automatically freed. When does it get free? Once you leave the function. So this int PTR5, when you have returned PTR, prior to that, before the returning, it freed the PTR. So what you received was there an address, but the memory locations were all freed out because it was an array. That is why you should never write int PTR5, and if you want to do programs like this, you should do int star PTR and over here by malloc. But I tell you one thing, over here if you have to this malloc that you do, are you freeing it? If you free over here, then this return PTR will not return the memory locations that are there. The sum and everything will be gone. All the memory locations will be freed. So you cannot free over here. So you return the PTR. You receive this P over here, work upon it. Then where should you free? Over here. But that is again looks very bad. Malloc done in one function, free done in another function. That is why returning by address is not always a good habit to do. This concept of writing a program might not always be a good habit to do. You do it if you are really needing it. Otherwise, here you could have allocated 5 memory locations over here to receive have your sum, difference and everything, and could have sent them by their addresses and done the change over there. You get it? This return PTR you can do, but again is not a very good habit always to do. Why? Because the malloc that you are doing, you cannot free over here. You need to free in main. You are declaring, you are doing the malloc in one function and doing the free in other function. Often main does not know that the arithmetic that you are calling, this function has allocated memory. How will you free? Over here you are writing the function yourself and main yourself. But often the function will be written by somebody else, like clear screen. Clear screen has been written by somebody else. You are just calling it. Like that arithmetic could be written by somebody else. You are just calling it. How do you know that you need to free this P? You don't know. Okay. So this is the problem. What happened when you are declared by an array? The free happened automatically. So when you returned, the memory locations were not there. You are trying to access it by P0, but P0 was no more there because it has been freed when you returned. The array was freed. It is automatically freed. So P0 could not be accessed. I think you understand. However, if you do it by a pointer, you are allocating the memory. You did not free it yourself. That's why you could access. But then at the end you should free. But then again, how will you know that if you call arithmetic you need to free? That's why I told you returning by address have to be very carefully done. I think you understand this point. Anyway, but you have understood returning by address and you have understood lifetime of an array. An array stays only till the function ends. If the function ends, if you are returning from the function, the array is automatically freed. That's why int PTR5 over here did not work. This is the main thing you have learned over here. Also you have learned returning by address, which you had learned in the last lecture, but this was just a revision, you can say. Okay, so we can take a bit of break and come back again. We will do more programs with functions. Thank you so much.